Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today's November 2nd. We had our first hard frost last night. Tomatoes, peppers, eggplant all killed off. It's time to rip out all those crops. This is where my tomato hedges were. I'm going to show you how to organically set up your earth beds using organic fertilizer. Basically, I'm using sheep manure. You can use any manure. It's real simple. You don't have to overwork the ground. In fact, all I did was take a trench up from the sides, redefined it, mounded it up in the middle, and then I put my manure across the top. I use sheep manure in this case, and this is going to sit a good 4 or 5 months before I plant anything into there, and that's how you want to use manures. You want to let the manures have time to break down and really compost down so that your plants can use them. I'm going to show you how I turned this tomato hedge area into slumbering beds for the winter. Just wanted to show you the space, how it looked after a friend of mine helped me pull out the entire tomato hedge. You can see a lot of tomatoes on the ground. Next year I'll be doing less, even giving it away. It was hard to give everything away. But that's what the space looks like now, and then we're going to set it up for the winter. So this is the area of my earth beds that I want to prep out for the winter, so come spring I'll just be able to plant in there. Now it's a big space, and the trick is don't overwhelm yourself. Like eventually I'm going to get all the way down there, hopefully later today or tomorrow. But just pick a place to start and then work your way backwards so you're not looking behind you, and pause. I've said this before, to just look at what you've accomplished. For the earth beds, basically trench it out wherever your trench was, and then mound the dirt right down the middle. Nothing has to be broken up. This will be all perfectly fine come springtime. You don't have to overdo it. So trench along the edges, mounded up my earth bed, and then I've dropped down the double shredded hardwood. A lot of people ask me where I get it. I get it from just a local nursery. They process it. It's called double shredded hardwood. Used to be found at Home Depot and Lowe's, but they went to the colored shredded hardwood, which I don't recommend. I just don't know what that is. But if you can't find double shredded hardwood, any kind of hardwood works. The reason I'm using this is because it breaks down quickly, and this is going to help fertilize this space right here. I'm not going to have to use a lot of fertilizer. So I'm going to cut over to my compost station that I just built, show you that real quick. I'll link a video to it. But my whole goal is to set up my garden so that I don't have to do a lot of turning, a lot of digging, a lot of fertilizing. I'm just going to be using compost and shredded hardwood. So I'm going to spread this out, and then actually I'm going to put a manure from a neighbor. He has sheep manure right across the top. Now, November 2nd, it will break down completely, get into the soil. Don't need to mix it in. You want to do it several months ahead of time before you plant so that you don't have your manures competing with the nitrogen for your plants and taking it from your plants. You want to drop it in now, let it break down. So here's my compost station. This is all cold compost. Anything I'm taking out is getting thrown in here, or I'm layering it with hay, basically browns, hay. It could be leaves, then greens, then hay, then greens, then hay. And this will eventually be hot composting. I'm not going to over stress with it now coming into November, but I just want to get this started breaking down, and come spring I'll be using this space to really compost everything I'm taking out now. I'll link the video that shows you how I built this area. So this space is pretty much being reclaimed for next spring. Again, you can lay down cardboard. That will kill off the grass. That was actually down there for a couple of weeks. Drop down the shredded hardwood mulch or any kind of hardwood mulch on there. Keep the weeds down. It's going to feed back my earth bed. You don't have to dig any kind of fancy raised beds or build them if you don't want to. You can just dig a trench like this. So it's mounded up. All I got to do is drop the sheep manure down, or any manure you want to use. I'll show you that and we'll finish up. So here is the sheep manure from a neighbor. Broken down pretty well. There's no odor, but it's not fully composted. So it's November. I'm going to get a good 4 or 5 months of just dropping it down here, letting it decompose, work its way into the soil. We're not going to turn this. No point in doing extra work. It's nice and loose. So this is about a 20-foot long space, 3 feet wide, and it's 2 40-pound bags of manure that is going to go down. And I'm basically going to just sprinkle it across the top like that and work my way all the way down. The sheep manure is down, so my earth bed is prepped For the winter, 4 or 5 months, I'll be planting into here. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll show you everything I'm doing in real time next year, video to video, and I'll show you what I'll be putting in here. So make sure you take the time to enjoy what you've accomplished before you have to turn to your left and look at the rest of the work you have to do. But I should be able to take care of this today. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next video.